Good morning from Evergreen. I'm starting my day off today with a cup of coffee here at Bivouac. You've probably heard of Bivouac before, one, because I drink their coffee pretty much every morning at home, but this is also a motorcyclist-owned and operated coffee shop here in Colorado, and Renee does a lot in the ADV community, and he hosts motorcycle meetups here at the coffee shop. He also is a part of a lot of different events like the Dusty Lizard and Revzilla's Get On ADV Fest and a bunch of other ones. Decided to get a coffee here today and then kick my ride off from here. I'm going to be going up in the mountains and doing a little bit of a day ride. I feel like this is something that a lot of y'all ask me questions on, you know, hey, what's a good day ride from Denver? So today's ride is going to be kind of we'll call it a medium ride. It's not super long mileage wise, but it might take a little while time wise. We're going to see kind of how the day unfolds because it is supposed to rain this afternoon. So the weather is definitely going to dictate what we do after lunch. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get on the road and head up to Boreas Pass. Just got to the start of Boreas Pass and decided to pull over and kind of check out this overlook here. There's a beautiful lake down here, and I also need to switch out these cameras, and I just wanted to mention that this video is not sponsored. I don't technically have to be filming this video today, but I decided to take you guys kind of along for the ride while I shoot some behind the scenes footage with the Insta360 X5 as well as the DJI Osmo 360. I'm doing a little compare and contrast video with these cameras, and I'm just kind of testing both of them out today. So unfortunately, this mount is a little too heavy with both cameras on it to have this on my handlebars when I start going up the pass because it's going to start getting a little more bumpy. So I'm going to switch one to my helmet and then keep one on the handlebars and just get a little bit of different footage going. But if you guys do want to check out my video that talks about both of these 360 cameras, I am going to link it up here in the cards for y'all, and it should be out right after this video, if not right before it. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get up the pass. I've officially made it to the top of Boreas Pass, and if you're coming from Breckenridge, it doesn't take too long. It's a pretty short stretch of road to get up here to the top, or maybe it's because I've gotten faster. I will say that's the first thing I realized as I got to the summit, and it's such a cool thing to recognize about yourself is that my off-road riding skills have definitely improved in the last 4 years. I'm definitely not a pro. I would call myself beginner. Maybe beginner to intermediate, depending on who you're talking to, but super cool to recognize that about your own skill set. It's nice to feel, you know, that over the last 4 years of riding Pan Americas off and on, that skill set is definitely, you know, building. But yeah, we are currently at 11,482 feet in elevation up here at the summit. And this actually used to be a railroad stop back in the day when the gold rush was going on. And this used to be a very busy area. There used to be multiple buildings up here, and some have fallen down. There is one big lodge building that's back over here that I wanted to show y'all, but they're doing construction on it right now and it's all kind of closed off. So I guess we got to come back up here another day. But it is starting to kind of rain on me right now. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see this in the footage, but it looks like doom over there. And then it looks like sunny and paradise over here. But that's Colorado for you. Welcome to the Rockies. The weather changes every 30 seconds. But yeah, all right, I think I'm done yapping. Let's go ahead and get down the hill here and get to lunch. For those of you that are into trains and whatnot, you'll definitely want to stop over here on the south side of the pass in Como. The old Como rail station is back here behind me, and then over on this side over yonder is the old roundhouse, and I believe that's where the trains used to like get pulled in and fixed if they needed fixing. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a railroad wizard, but I think that's what I remember reading last time. Yeah, it looks like they're doing a bunch of work to the old train station, which is really, really cool. There's like an old building, it kind of looks like a lodge over here. I'll have to Google and see if they're doing restorations or not, but the old train station has definitely been redone. It looks pretty great. It looks like a couple days a year it actually opens and you can actually go in and check it out. So I'll have to Google that and see maybe there's a day that it opens this fall. But anyway, I didn't want to ride past this and not stop and talk to y'all about it, but I'm hangry, so let's go get lunch. So I decided to stop in Fairplay and grab lunch here at Otto's Fried Chicken. This is honestly like truly the ride to food today. Today's whole ride was based around coming and trying out this fried chicken sandwich because I had heard about it online and people were saying that it really lives up to the hype and it's delicious. So I love a good fried chicken sandwich. I've ridden past this place for years and I've just never stopped. And then after I saw a few people talking about it online, I was like, okay, I have to stop here. I got their Cajun fried chicken and it has pickles, a chipotle aioli, Cajun seasoning on the chicken, cheese, tomato, lettuce. It's got a lot of stuff on it. But I mean, this thing is huge. They also have a food truck in Alma, which is not too far from here. And it's technically the highest incorporated town in the United States, if not North America. But I wasn't sure if it's going to be raining up there. And I knew that the seating situation up there was going to be a little bit smaller. So I decided to just stop here at their main store in Fairplay. But let's go ahead and dive into this. I don't even know where to start on this thing. Oh, okay. Not gonna lie, when I first saw the breading, I had my doubts, but it is super tender, super crispy. This is delicious. This is so good. Their pickles, I don't know if they're made in-house or not, but they're like super thick. You can kind of see one right here on the edge here. Juicy pickles, I love that. I also got some of their fries, and this is just a side of fries, and it is huge. I definitely didn't need a full order, and I'm glad I didn't order that. Let's try one of these fries. Oh. Save room for these fries. They are perfectly, dare I say it, pillowy on the inside. There's a couple that I watch on YouTube and the guy always says pillowy. That perfectly describes these french fries. Wow. Well, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish eating this and might have to run inside so I don't get soaked, but I'll see y'all once I decide what we're doing next. Looking at my phone, it looks like if I head back north towards Breckenridge over Hoosier Pass, we should miss some more of the rain and we can keep ripping around a little bit. So I'm gonna hang out here until this last little bit of this storm passes and then we'll get back on the road. I made it about a mile from the fried chicken joint and I realized that we're right by historic South Park, so I wanted to stop and talk to y'all about it. Unfortunately, I don't have time to show you guys the actual walking museum here behind me, but South Park is more than just a TV show. It is based off of this area of Colorado. South Park isn't just a city, it's like a whole 1,000 square mile section of Colorado up here in this area. Just Google it. Anyway, this area is known for mining, just like a lot of Colorado is, but this little museum behind me has 44 original buildings. I want to say 7 or 8 of them sit on their original spot. The rest of them were all brought in. And there's over 60,000 artifacts in these buildings. You do have to pay to go in here. I think it's $12 or something. It is ran by a nonprofit organization that kind of puts all this together, which is really nice. You can take on average 1.5 to 2 hours at minimum to experience everything in here, and I just don't have that today. It's already 4 o'clock, so We're gonna save this for another trip, but if you are up here in the Fairplay area, definitely come check this out if you're into history stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on the road. There are a couple of passes and things I'm gonna try and see if the weather holds out and if we have time. We just rode over Hoosier Pass and Loveland Pass, and now I'm at the summit of Loveland Pass, and here's a little bit of a 360 kind of bird's eye view of this place. Let's just flip the camera around and do it the other way. So I-70 is down there, and just over this mountain is the Eisenhower Tunnel. And this right here is the Continental Divide, so that is where the water changes and splits directions and all that fun stuff. And over here in the back, if you look back in here, that is a basin, popular ski resort, and the mountains just keep on going. Look how pretty that is. Sorry if I made y'all dizzy on that one, but had to show you guys the 360 views from up here. But it's a little chilly. I'd guess it's in the low 50s up here. I can't remember what the elevation is. Oh, I can almost read the sign. 11,000 something feet. But yeah, it's a great ride up here. I would definitely say this is way more fun than Hoosier Pass. Hoosier Pass is kind of just an easy connector from Fairplay to Breckenridge, and Breckenridge honestly is not really my vibe. It's really people-y there. It's like a kind of reminds me of like a Jackson Hole, so to speak. It's just very touristy, very, very people-y, and I don't really ever go there. So Loveland Pass used to be the only way that you could get over the Continental Divide in this area before they built the Eisenhower Tunnel. And they still use this road. I've actually had to go over this highway before when the tunnel has been shut down due to an accident or something. And then they divert everyone over to this little 2-lane highway, and it is just, it's kind of a nightmare. I'm not going to lie. It's really unfortunate when the tunnel gets closed. But it's crazy to think that this used to be the main route before they built the Eisenhower Tunnel and the rest of I-70. But yeah, I'd highly recommend checking out Loveland Pass if you're in this area, and it's just a fun one. There's so many good rides out here. I can spend every week riding new roads and not repeat anything to show y'all and not run out of stuff. But 11,990 feet. That is the official elevation of Loveland Pass that I couldn't quite read from the rocks across the road. But unfortunately, I think this is going to have to do it for this video. These clouds that are behind me here are going to be basically following me back down the mountains. And while I wanted to go over to Guanella Pass and look for some moose up at the summit, I just don't feel like being cold and wet from the rain. And I just don't think it's worth it to get sick just to try and go look for some moose. And we can do that in another video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not going to label the Osmo 360 versus the Insta360 X5 footage in this video. We'll be saving that for the next video when I do a little bit of a comparison between the two and talk about the pros and cons of each. So if that interests y'all, I'm going to link that up here in the cards as well as down in the video description whenever that publishes. But hopefully you enjoyed this little day ride from Denver. I'd like to do some more of these little day rides, and today was actually supposed to be a camping day, but it's Friday and I refuse to go camping in the mountains on Fridays when everyone else is up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one, I will see y'all on the road. Later, y'all.